My beloved child, listen with your whole heart. Do not scroll away, for this is the moment heaven itself bends down to whisper your name. The divine speaks, do not wait. Pause here and receive this message, for it concerns the very place you call home. The sands of time are slipping away, and if you turn aside now, you may never discover the truth that is gently knocking at your door. Dearest soul, Archangel Michael is standing beside you right now. In his hands, he holds a radiant sword and a scroll filled with heavenly wisdom. Within that scroll, your life's journey is inscribed, written by love before you ever drew breath. This message is not a coincidence. The angels have placed it before you because something concealed within your home is about to come into the light. Beloved, if these words awaken something deep within, take a moment and subscribe, for the divine urges you not to miss the guidance being sent for your life. You are being led, step by step, and the next message may shield you from sorrow or usher you into a blessing beyond imagining. The Spirit whispers, look around your dwelling tonight. There are echoes in the walls, mysteries woven into your family's story, and choices waiting to shape your destiny. Michael urges, do not close your eyes. If you turn away, you may walk right into the trap the adversary has set. But if you embrace this, your path will be transformed. My beloved, do you sense the urgency? The clock is moving swiftly. The heavens are stirring, and angels are encircling you with both warning and hope. You are not here by accident. This is your sacred moment. The divine says, do not wait. My child, do not turn away. Do not close your ears. Do not walk off, for this message is not for just anyone, it is meant for you. The divine repeats, do not delay. Pause now. This is about the home where you dwell, and time is running short. Beloved, Archangel Michael is already at your threshold. His wings are spread wide, his sword blazes with holy fire, and he softly calls your name. He has come not only to shield you, but to reveal what has been hidden within your walls. Can you feel it? That subtle unease you've carried, the sudden changes in the atmosphere of your home, these are not your imagination. It is the stirring of a secret being brought into the open. The divine says, my precious child, if you heed this message, I will show you the hidden cause. I will break the chain that has lingered in your house, and I will pour out peace where there has been unrest. But you must not ignore this. If you hesitate, the door of protection will close, and the adversary will find a way in. My child, I see your tears. You have tried to hold your family together. You have carried a heavy burden in silence. But heaven has witnessed every sacrifice, every sleepless night, every silent cry when you thought no one noticed. Now the divine says, enough. I am sending my mighty angel Michael to lift this weight from your shoulders. But listen well, Michael does not come only to comfort. He comes with truth. And truth is not always gentle. Truth reveals. Truth shakes. Truth uncovers what was hidden. That is why this message is so urgent. Something within your home has disguised itself as harmless, but it has been working against you. And tonight, heaven declares, no more. Beloved, if these words pierce your heart, if you feel a flame rising within, pause for a moment. Do not simply listen in silence. Make sure you subscribe now, for the next message may be the one that brings your miracle. Do not let it pass you by. My child, listen closely, for what I am about to share has the power to change everything around you. It is no accident that you are here, reading these words at this very moment. They are flowing straight from the heart of heaven into your spirit. The divine says, do not delay. Pause now, for this message concerns the home where you live. The very space you walk through each day. the walls that have held your laughter and your tears, the ground where your feet rise in the morning and rest at night. The heavens have seen what your eyes have not. Something hidden has been dwelling in that place. Something that appears ordinary, but has been shaping your life in ways you could not imagine. Archangel Michael has been sent to your side with urgency, bearing a flame brighter than the sun and a sword sharper than lightning. He stands above your home, waiting for your attention, waiting for you to open your heart so that revelation may enter. My child, the Spirit says there are secrets bound to your house. It may be in the foundation. It may be tied to the bloodline of those who came before you. Or it may be connected to someone close, hiding something you cannot yet see. But know this, God is uncovering it now, for the time is short. The adversary had set a trap within the walls of your own home. But heaven has declared, enough is enough, and you will not live under that shadow any longer. Beloved, remember the moments when the atmosphere in your home suddenly shifted. You enter a room and feel a heaviness no one can explain. At night, you sense unseen eyes or hear whispers in the silence. Or perhaps it is more subtle, arguments that arise from nowhere, tension that fills the house without cause, financial burdens that never seem to lift, illness that lingers longer than it should. These are not mere accidents. The divine says, my child, you have been under spiritual attack in the very place where you should have peace. But Archangel Michael has drawn his sword to fight for you, to cleanse the air of your dwelling, and to restore your home as a sanctuary of light. My beloved, receive these words with clarity. Do not dismiss them, for if you turn away, the cycle will persist. The struggles in your relationships will deepen, confusion will grow, and the adversary will continue to steal from you in silence. But if you open your spirit now and accept this divine guidance, your home will be transformed. Doors that have been locked in your destiny will swing wide. Curses will be broken. Chains will fall away. Angels will move freely through the threshold of your home, bringing blessings beyond your understanding. The divine is speaking, do not delay. Do not take this lightly, for your response in this moment shapes your tomorrow. And child, I know you are weary. Heaven knows the long nights you have spent wrestling with questions, wondering why breakthroughs seem so far away, why happiness in your home feels fragile, why peace never fully settles. But this is not because you are forgotten. It is because a hidden root has remained. Something was planted long ago and has grown in the shadows. But now, Archangel Michael has been sent to uproot it, to tear it from the ground, and to purify the soil of your home. This is why you are hearing this message right now. The divine says your deliverance has been appointed. Your miracle is already unfolding, and the shift begins tonight. My beloved, hear this well. Do not brush these words aside. If you ignore them, the cycle will continue. The battles in your relationships will intensify. Confusion will multiply. The adversary will keep taking from you in silence. But if you open your heart and receive this sacred instruction, your home will be renewed. Doors that have been closed in your destiny will open. Curses will be shattered, chains will break, and angels will move freely through your home, bringing blessings you have yet to imagine. The divine says, do not delay. Do not treat this lightly, for your obedience in this moment determines your future. And child, I know you are tired. Heaven has seen the nights you have struggled with doubts, wondering why your breakthroughs are always delayed, why joy in your home is so delicate, why peace never seems to last. But it is not because you are overlooked. It is because a hidden root has been growing in the darkness. But now, Archangel Michael has come to pull it out, to cleanse the ground beneath your feet, and to restore your home. This is why you are hearing this message now. The divine says your freedom has been scheduled. Your miracle is already in motion, and the transformation begins tonight. My child, do you sense the depth of this moment? Heaven is drawing near, and eternity is pressing into this very hour to reach you. The Spirit says, do not delay. Pause and listen, for what is being spoken will not only reveal what is hidden in your home, but will also prepare you for the destiny waiting at your door. You have prayed for answers, but answers rarely come as we expect. Sometimes they arrive as gentle whispers. Sometimes as warnings. Sometimes they thunder in the night. And now, the warning is being sounded. Your home holds a secret that must be brought to light. The longer it remains hidden, the heavier the chain upon your life becomes. Heaven has decreed that this chain must be broken, for you have entered the season of unveiling. Archangel Michael stands in your midst, powerful and unwavering, bearing both sword and shield, not only for battle, but for your protection. The Spirit says he is here because you are in danger, even if you do not realize it. The very place that should have been your refuge has become a battleground. And though you have tried to fight with your own strength, this was never a battle you were meant to face alone. Remember the nights when the shadows felt heavier than usual? When your dreams seemed like warnings you could not explain? When even laughter in your home was followed by a silence that felt suffocating? These were not coincidences. They were signs. Heaven has been trying to get your attention, but now the time has come to reveal everything. Beloved, do not harden your heart. You may think this message is like the others, but it is not. This one was written with your name upon it. The divine says, I chose this moment because if you walk away, the adversary will tighten his grip. But if you receive it, I will send angels into your home tonight. I will scatter the darkness and fill your rooms with my light. That is why the heavens cry out with urgency. That is why Michael himself has come. Because the battle is no longer hidden. It is here, and it must be faced. My child, reflect on the conflicts in your family. The repeated cycles of loss. The constant sense that something slips away just as breakthrough is near. These are not random struggles. They are the fruit of what has been concealed. But do you see? When light is turned on, darkness cannot remain. This word you are receiving is that light. Archangel Michael is pulling back the veil, showing you what has been lurking in the shadows. And once you see it, you will never again live under its power. Beloved, the divine says, I have heard the cries you thought no one else could hear. I have counted your tears in the midnight hour. I have felt the weight on your chest as you tried to sleep, and I am sending release. Do you feel the trembling in your spirit even now? That is your confirmation. That is heaven touching your heart, saying, yes, this is for you. Do not brush it aside. Angels do not waste words. They do not visit without purpose. If Michael is standing at your door tonight, it is because your home, your life, your family line is about to experience a shift that will echo for generations. My child, the Spirit says, the walls of your home remember more than you know. They have heard prayers whispered in desperation, arguments shouted in anger, and the heavy silence of sorrow you thought no one else noticed. Heaven has heard it all, and tonight the divine says, I will redeem even the echoes. The pain within your household will not define your future, for Michael has been sent to erase what the adversary tried to write into your destiny. That is why this message burns with urgency. You may feel this is just another word, but no, this one is wrapped in fire. This one is sealed with your name. This is heaven's answer to the cry you thought went unheard. Beloved, do not mistake the divine silence for absence. The hand of God has been moving even when your eyes could not see. And the plan is breaking through at this very hour. Beloved child, Archangel Michael assures you he has been standing guard at the edges of your home, waiting for the signal from heaven. The forces that tried to settle in your house have been trembling, for the fire of God's command is too powerful for them to withstand. Yet the battle is not finished until you receive and act upon this word. That is why you are here now. Heaven has orchestrated this moment, for the shift must be activated by your obedience. Michael says, if you open your heart, if you take this message to heart, I will cleanse every corner of your dwelling. I will drive out the shadow that lingers in your room at night. I will remove the spirit that brings unrest and confusion, and I will restore your home as a sanctuary once again. Can you sense it? Even now, the atmosphere around you is stirring, for heaven is already moving on your behalf. My child, remember the patterns you have endured: sudden financial obstacles, strained relationships, unexpected illnesses, the way peace never seemed to last more than a few days. These are not ordinary patterns. They are signs of spiritual residue clinging to your household. But now, the divine says, I am pouring out fresh oil. I am resetting the foundation. I am rebuilding what the adversary tried to destroy. Do not take this lightly. The clock is ticking in the spiritual realm. This is your window of deliverance. To delay is to risk what God has already prepared for you. But to act is to open the floodgates of heaven over your life. This is not just about surviving. It is about restoration, abundance, and freedom that will ripple through generations after you. Beloved, I know there are times you wonder if you are truly chosen, if the divine really sees you, if angels truly walk among us. Let this moment be your confirmation. You did not arrive here by accident. The hand of God guided you to this very message, for it is the missing piece in your story. Michael is not a distant figure from ancient texts. He is alive, powerful, present, and his wings are brushing the edges of your life right now. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not powerless. The Spirit says, stand still and witness the salvation of your God. The battle has raged, but now Michael is sent to fight where you could not, to win where you could not, and to establish peace where there was only chaos. My child, the divine says, your home is not just bricks and mortar. It is a vessel, a living testimony that has absorbed years of both joy and sorrow, prayers and arguments, laughter and tears. Every wall holds memory. Every room contains energy. And some of that energy was never meant to remain. That is why you have felt uneasy. Why sometimes you enter a space and feel drained instead of comforted. The divine says, I have heard the heaviness of your nights. I have seen the shadow that rests at your door, and I am sending my light to drive it away. Do not take this message lightly, for what is being revealed to you now will determine the peace of your future. Beloved, Archangel Michael has been waiting for this hour. His sword is drawn, and the fire of heaven runs along its edge. He has been commanded to fight not only for your soul, but for the very ground beneath your feet. For too long, the adversary has occupied what was meant to be your place of rest. For too long, curses have traveled through your bloodline, attaching themselves to your dwelling, repeating patterns of lack, conflict, betrayal, and delay. But the divine says, this ends now. Michael declares, child of the Most High, I am stepping across the threshold of your home. I will tear down the banners of darkness and raise the standard of heaven over your roof. Even as you listen, the angels of the Lord are moving. My child, reflect on the strange cycles in your life. Every time you try to move forward, something pulls you back. Every time joy enters, sorrow quickly follows. Every time prosperity knocks, loss seems to slip in through another door. These are not accidents. They are signs of a hidden hand trying to steal what is yours. But the divine says, I will expose the thief. I will restore what was stolen. I will repay the years that were lost. This is not just about your house. This is about your inheritance. Your destiny was written in the ink of heaven long before you were born. And no curse, no shadow, no dark assignment can erase it once you choose to stand in the light. Beloved, the Spirit is urging you now. Do not ignore this moment. This message is not a story, it is an instruction. When Michael speaks, destinies shift. When God commands, chains are broken. That is why your spirit is trembling even as you hear these words, because deep inside you know this is not a coincidence. You are here because the battle over your house, your family, your future is reaching its turning point. Heaven is offering you victory. But you must not walk away. Do not delay. Do not close your heart. For the door of deliverance is open only for a season. My child, hear this without distraction. Heaven has aligned this moment so perfectly that nothing about it is ordinary. The divine says, I am speaking directly to you about the home where you live, and you cannot turn away, for the choices you make after hearing this will shape the path of your days. The house you walk through each day has carried echoes from generations. Those echoes have influenced your peace, your relationships, and even your finances. Beloved, when walls absorb years of silence, unspoken words, or hidden pain, the adversary uses that silence as an invitation. But the Spirit of God declares, I am breaking the silence tonight. The angels are already at work, tearing down strongholds you thought were just ordinary frustrations, exposing roots that were planted long before you moved into that space, and cleansing the air you breathe so that freedom can flow through every corner of your dwelling. Beloved, Archangel Michael says he has been watching over you, waiting for the appointed hour when he would be allowed to draw his sword fully against the darkness assigned to your household. That hour has come. He says, Child of the light, your cries have reached the throne, and your tears have become petitions in heaven. Every midnight prayer, every sigh you thought went unnoticed became a decree in the court of the Almighty. And now, judgment has been pronounced. The spirits of confusion, delay, and division that tried to make your home their nest have been given notice. Michael himself declares, I will drive them out. I will make your dwelling a fortress. I will sanctify what was once defiled. This is why you must not dismiss what you are hearing. It is your lifeline, your rescue, your answer to prayers you thought heaven had delayed. My child, the divine asks, do you remember the times when peace seemed to visit your home, only to vanish overnight? Do you recall when relationships in your family felt healed, but then suddenly unraveled without clear reason? Do you remember how joy would blossom like a flower, only to wither too soon? These were not mere coincidences. These were battles fought in the unseen. Every shadow that tried to settle in your home was a thief, and thieves never enter without intent. Yet tonight, the divine is exposing their plans and ending their hold. You will witness a shift in the very atmosphere of your house. Rooms that once felt heavy will breathe with new life. Windows that seemed closed will now let in the light. This transformation will not only be physical, it will be spiritual, emotional, and generational. Beloved, the Spirit whispers with urgency. Do not delay. Do not walk away. Do not treat this as something to revisit later, for later may never come. Heaven is moving now, and the invitation for deliverance is resting in your hands as you receive these words. The divine says, I will not allow you to live under false peace any longer. I will give you true rest. I will grant you real safety. And I will reveal what has been hidden all along. The clock is ticking in the unseen realm, and what you choose in this moment will echo into eternity. That is why Archangel Michael stands at your threshold, wings outstretched, ready to shield, ready to strike, ready to bring forth the miracle that has always been written in your story. My beloved child, the Spirit of God says, lean in closer, for these words are not fleeting thoughts. They are rivers of revelation flowing into your soul. For too long, you have lived in a house where peace comes like a guest but never stays, where laughter flickers like a candle but is too often snuffed out by winds you cannot see. The divine says this is not because you are weak, nor because you lack faith, but because an unseen assignment has marked your dwelling. That is why you rise with hope in the morning only to find heaviness by night. That is why arguments appear out of nowhere, why money slips through your hands despite your efforts, why sickness or weariness visits uninvited. These patterns are not natural. They are spiritual signals. But tonight, beloved, heaven declares a turning. The angels of God have been dispatched, and Michael with his sword of fire is already standing guard over your threshold. The adversary's time is up, and the grip on your house is breaking even as these words reach your heart. Beloved, do not underestimate the significance of this hour. Heaven does not send Michael lightly. He does not come for whispers, he comes for war. When Michael arrives, it means the adversary planted something deep. But it also means the divine has decreed deliverance for the chosen one. And you, child, are that chosen one. The Spirit says, your name has been spoken in the courts of heaven. Your tears have been counted. Your faith, though tested, has been found precious. You thought your struggles went unseen, but every silent night was recorded. Every heavy breath was noticed. Every sleepless hour became a prayer, even if no words left your lips. And tonight, those prayers rise like incense, and Michael moves at the command of the Almighty to answer them. He says, the shadow that lingered in your room shall be no more. The heaviness you could not name will scatter. And where darkness once tried to root, light will now grow. My child, remember how often you wondered if your family line carried something unseen, if what you battled was older, deeper, and greater than you could explain. You were right. But hear this, the divine never reveals a chain unless the key has already been prepared. What was buried in generations before you, what was hidden in choices made by ancestors, what was sealed in silence, all of it is being shattered now. The divine says, the curse breaks with you. The burden ends with you. The price has already been paid, and Michael comes to enforce the victory. That is why you feel a stirring in your spirit, a trembling in your chest, for the spiritual atmosphere is shifting as these words enter your life. Beloved, do not dismiss this. Do not say, I will think about it later. The Spirit cries, later is too late. This is your moment of visitation. This is the night heaven recorded long before you were born, when the doors of your house would be marked with divine fire, when angels would cleanse the air you breathe, when the chains hidden in the walls would finally break. Michael says, I have come to fight for your peace. But you must believe. You must receive. You must not walk away as if this were ordinary. Nothing about this is ordinary. It is written. It is sealed. It is yours. And once you receive, nothing and no one will be able to reverse what heaven has begun in you tonight. My beloved child, open your heart even wider, for what is being poured out is not a drop, it is a flood. The Spirit says, the walls around you, the foundation beneath your feet, the roof above your head, all carry stories, memories, and energies that have pressed against your peace. Some of those stories are yours. Some belong to those who came before. Some were never meant to be there at all. You have felt this pressure in ways you could not explain, moments where joy entered like sunlight, but clouds quickly followed, nights where sleep would not come, though nothing seemed wrong, days where arguments rose like sudden storms and peace broke apart without reason. The divine says, this is the residue of shadows, the remnants of battles fought before you. But tonight, I am rewriting what those walls hold. Archangel Michael has been stationed by your door, not only to defend but to cleanse, not only to shield but to break. The flame of his sword is already cutting through what the adversary planted in silence. Beloved, I know you have asked, why me? Why my house? Why do these cycles never end? And heaven answers, because your destiny carries weight. Because your name is inscribed for greater things. Because you are marked for breakthrough that will not only bless you, but ripple across generations. The adversary fights hardest where the greatest light is destined to shine. That is why your household has felt the pressure, why confusion tried to make a nest where peace should reign, why financial struggle, betrayal, or sickness tried to anchor itself in your space. But Michael says, I have come to tear those anchors out. I have come to lift the siege. I have come to drive out what was never invited by heaven. This is not a casual word. This is the decree of the Almighty, delivered with urgency, sealed with fire, and spoken directly into your life. My child, understand that your home is not only a physical space, it is a spiritual gateway. What is allowed within your walls gains influence in your life. That is why the adversary sought to enter through silence, through old objects, through hidden agreements in your bloodline, through bitterness that lingered long after words were spoken. But the divine says, I am breaking those agreements. I am closing the doors the enemy used. I am making your house a sanctuary once again. And when God makes a sanctuary, no darkness can trespass, no curse can remain, no shadow can linger. You will notice the difference, beloved. The air will feel lighter, rest will come easier, joy will stay longer, and peace will settle where it once slipped through your fingers. This will not be temporary. It will be lasting. For what God seals, no power can unseal. Beloved child, you must not delay. The heavens are moving in this very moment, and every word you receive becomes part of your victory. Do not walk away with hesitation, for hesitation gives the adversary room to breathe again. The divine says, take this seriously. Mark this moment. Anchor your faith. For tonight is not just another night. It is the night your home is claimed fully for the kingdom. And Archangel Michael himself stands as witness, sword raised, wings outstretched, declaring over you, peace shall remain here, blessing shall remain here, light shall remain here, and every shadow must bow to the command of the Most High. My beloved child, do not let your spirit wander as these words enter you, for every syllable carries light. Every sentence is breaking a chain you did not even know was wrapped around your life. The divine says, I am speaking with urgency because the time for pretending is over. The shadows that have lived quietly in your dwelling can no longer hide. My servant Michael has been sent to expose, to uproot, and to cleanse. This is why your heart is pounding even now, why your soul feels as though it is being awakened, because heaven is not whispering softly, it is declaring with thunder. Do not delay. Do not ignore. Do not take this lightly. The very atmosphere of your home is shifting as you receive these words. And though your eyes may not see it yet, angels are moving through the rooms, through the hallways, through the spaces that once carried heaviness, lifting the residue of sorrow, scattering the remnants of conflict, and planting peace where unrest had taken root. Beloved, Archangel Michael speaks with authority, I have battled for you in silence. When you lay sleeping, I stood watch. When darkness tried to cross the threshold, I drew my sword. When curses tried to enter through doors left open by ignorance or by old agreements, I blocked them. But now I am not only defending, I am cleansing. I am driving out what has lingered too long. I am commanding light to remain. My child, can you not feel the shift in your spirit? That heaviness you once accepted as normal is beginning to lift, for heaven is rewriting your environment. Do not be surprised if, in the coming days, you sense a new ease in your prayers, a new warmth in your rest, a new flow of joy that lingers. These will be signs that what is spoken here is alive and active in your life. Beloved, remember how often you have asked yourself, why does my house feel unsettled? Why do blessings slip away so quickly? Why do arguments rise out of nowhere? These questions were the Spirit nudging you, preparing you for this very revelation. The divine says, I never ignored you. I was waiting for the appointed time. And now that time has come. You shall no longer dwell in confusion. You shall no longer live under repeating cycles. I will sanctify the ground you walk on. I will redeem the walls around you. I will make your home a place of laughter and rest again. This is not wishful thinking, beloved. This is a decree. And when heaven decrees, the earth must align. My child, the divine warns with love, do not let unbelief steal this from you. Many receive a word and treat it as a fleeting thought. But this is not fleeting. This is eternal instruction, and your faith activates it. Michael's sword has struck, but your agreement seals the victory. That is why the divine says again, do not delay. Every delay gives darkness a foothold, but every act of obedience strengthens the walls of your sanctuary. Tonight, the line is drawn. Tonight, your house shifts from battleground to sanctuary, from shadow to light, from loss to restoration. And when future generations walk through those same doors, they will walk into blessing because of the choice you made to believe in this very moment. My beloved child, open the deepest part of your heart as these words flow. For they are not simply words, they are living fire, carrying both warning and blessing, carrying both revelation and restoration. The divine says, I have come close to you because the hour is late. The adversary thought he could remain hidden in your home, disguised in the ordinary frustrations of daily life, in the small arguments that rise out of nowhere, in the heaviness that lingers without reason. But no more. I, the Lord, have released my warrior Michael to strike at the root, to tear away the veil, and to cleanse what was contaminated. My child, the urgency you feel is not fear, it is recognition. Your spirit knows this is the answer to questions you have been asking in silence for years. Why the sudden losses? Why the constant weariness? Why the feeling that joy cannot stay? Heaven is answering all at once, for something hidden was present, but it is being broken tonight.